I think it's pretty close to 2 o'clock, isn't it? 1:58.
All right.
1:59.
159.
1:59. Well, what a great shot! It's got you in the background,
That
just
makes
like
it a great shot already.
because I'm like I'm Howard Stern and you're Robin Givens.
Robin Quivers.
You're Robin Quivers.
Oh, Peter. That's my Robin impersonation.
So, Chef, we're gonna have you at 2:15. What? Two? What's that? No, no, no. Two. I'm just gonna do the intro, and then we'll get you going. But you can put anything you want there. Okay.
So food shortly after 2:15 then?
Yeah, that sounds good. All right, I'm ready.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, we can't say live. That's right. We can't say live. But we are for Facebook live at BOA Steak House. And our phone number is 626-765-7542. Okay.
Now, it's Peter Dills, the king of cuisine.
You know, I love it when they say not just another restaurant show, because no, it's Peter Dills, LA and Orange County's king of cuisine. Happy Sunday, everybody. Man, it was a scorcher last night. You know how hot it was last night, Turtle?
How hot was it?
It was so hot last night that Turtle would not come out of his show. All right, it's Peter Dills. We're going to be, we're at BOA Steak House. Bright and early, we're going to be talking to the executive chef. We're going to be talking to the DM. We're just going to be eating and drinking and doing our usual shenanigans. And I'm really looking forward to this show today, Turtle, because I think this time, instead of the scraps, you might actually get to eat some food.
Yeah, I'm excited about that too. And not just any food, BOA food.
BOA, right here at 9200 Sunset Boulevard, West Hollywood. You know what the cool thing about being in Beverly Hills, West Hollywood, Beverly Hills area, is all of these great cars. Like, so if you hear a fire truck, that's a regular fire truck.
Right.
But if you hear a zoom, 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 that might be a Lamborghini. That might be a Rolls Royce. That might be a Porsche.
Yeah,
Or
I was
that
excited.
might be a Metro dropping somebody off.
It's almost free these days, so it could be.
Tomorrow's Labor Day. That's being Monday. And as you mentioned before the show, Labor Day and we all have to work, that doesn't make any sense.
It's a true Labor Day.
Isn't that something that we should all be just not working on?
The most laborious day of them all.
Okay. This station, Go Country 105, we are famous for giving away tickets, and Stagecoach is not happening this year, right?
No.
So most of you or all of you probably have the phone number for Go Country 105 in your smartphone, or you've got it on speed dial. All right? Well, we've got a new phone number that I'm going to give you, and you might win a $100 gift card to the BOA Steakhouse. Wait a minute.
Wait,
Can,
how much
can they
is it?
use it in Santa Monica, or is it no, just here? Okay. You can possibly win a $100 gift card to the BOA Steakhouse here in West Hollywood. Lamborghini is not included.
No.
The phone number is, I want you to write this down. Get
Okay.
a pencil and paper. I got mine.
There we go.
626-765-7543. 626-765-7543. And I'm going to give you a hint what the question might be when we do this question. The answer. Today is National Coffee Ice Cream Day. Today is National Coffee Ice Cream Day. So maybe, knowing me, if you've been listening to the show here on Go Country 105 the last 2 years, it might just have something to do with ice cream. Would that seem legit?
It would
No?
it wouldn't make sense at all.
Right?
Peter.
All right. Well, I got some breaking news here for you.
No
guys.
way.
I've got breaking news here for you. This just in to the Peter Dills Food Report from my friend Steve Barnes at Bulldog Construction. When you are looking for real estate marketing, looking to purchase a new home, if you're a real estate investor and you're thinking about purchasing an apartment, shopping center, strip center, or commercial office buildings, look no further than my friend Steve at Bulldog Property Inspection. 626-486-7688. Call Steve and schedule a comprehensive, detailed inspection report. All reports are easy to read and emailed within 24 hours. Your inspection report will confirm the current condition of your investment. That sounds important, doesn't it?
Very important.
Before purchasing your next real estate investment, call my good friend Steve at Bulldog Inspections. 626-486-7688, 626-486-7688. Now, what did I just say?
To call Steve.
Steve at Bulldog Inspections. How was that, Steve? Incredible. So call Steve right now. So we're at I was going to say Bulldog.
Well,
We're
the
at-
Bulldog's right there.
We're at BOA Steak House, and we have to give a little shout out or a thank you. There goes a Bentley right now, and
yeah.
I'm not kidding. There just went a black Bentley. We got to give a shout out to Beluga Vodka. They made this happen, and in fact, I believe that the district manager who is here is going to be making us a cocktail when we have some of that Wagyu steak a little bit later. So that's going to be ultra cool.
can't wait
Beluga
for that.
Vodka. It's available at many fine retailers, including Vaughn's. And I've had it, I've purchased it, and it's not that expensive. You know? I mean, I'll spend $30-35 on gin, and to spend $22-23 on vodka, it's well worth it.
That's a great deal.
And so I just wanted to give a shout out. Thank you to Beluga Vodka for setting this remote here at BOA Steakhouse. What's on the menu? My friend Travis Flood, who's certain that he has come across me or met me before in an other life. He is now the executive chef here at BOA Steakhouse, and he has put together an incredible menu that if you're watching on Facebook, you're probably going to want to divorce your husband and shack up with me, because this is great food, and this is something that is you can't get unless you come to BOA Steakhouse.
You know what I like about BOA Steakhouse? They're very futuristic. I went to use their restroom,
Right.
and all their faucets worked. Like they have the infrared faucets.
Yeah.
And have you ever gone? And you
at Gold's Gym, I have to. Well, when I was going to Gold's Gym, you're like, no, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
That doesn't work.
It makes you think that do I exist? Do I not exist? What's going on? But this went boom, straight
They
off.
work.
I was like, man, I didn't have to wait a second.
Reason number 7. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Breaking news.
We got more breaking.
We got-
This is the most breaking news that we've ever had.
Breaking news from BOA Steakhouse. All of the faucets in the bathrooms work.
And they have QR codes at all the tables.
Right.
So you don't even have to ask for a menu. You just boom, and it's right there on your phone.
Boom, and we're going to talk
Very
to Travis,
futuristic.
executive chef Travis Flood. We're going to be talking about Caesar salad. I'm going to ask him. I'm going to stump the chef. He'll know the answer. Where was the original Caesar salad first made?
Rome.
Okay.
Julius Caesar. Duh.
Okay, Rome. He thinks it's Rome. Baklava, Cajun king crab. What? Smashed broccoli, mac and cheese. It all sounds good to me, and I'm just hungry thinking about it.
I can't
You
wait.
know, it's early in the morning, and usually I stop by Starbucks to get my little Starbucks and water. I didn't do that this morning. It's Peter Dills. It's Go Country 105. It is a food show like no other. So if you've just tuned in and you're a first-time listener and you say, what's the deal with this guy? Well, we talk about food, we talk about wines, we suggest wines, and we talk about discoveries. So obviously the last 5 or 6 weeks, it's been a little bit tough to actually go out and review restaurants. So you came up with the idea, why don't we bring the show to them?
Right.
And we've done that. In fact, I think in the next 2 weeks, we're talking about Taps down in Orange County, El Cholo Cafe in Pasadena. In fact, that one I think it's a done deal for September 16th, and we're going to have a band with us. Honey Country, a duo that is very popular. Everybody, if you've gone to Stagecoach and if you're into country music, you know Honey Country. They don't want to be called they're going to be a special guest.
Okay.
So they're going to bring us into the breaks and take us out of the breaks, and they're just going to be playing. I didn't tell you this. Oh,
No,
and here's good news
thanks.
for you. They're bringing their own engineer.
Oh, perfect.
How's that?
And all we do is just pop in and
Pop in.
I like that.
So we're talking about El Cholo on September 16th. That will be a lot of fun. Before we go to break, I had mentioned I think this is a funny story. I think it's kind of funny. I had mentioned about not being able to go out and doing as many restaurant reviews as we'd like, right?
Right.
Remember the good old days when we were at K blank
Yeah.
C? We'd have people call in, hey, Peter, I live in Long Beach. I'm looking for this kind of restaurant.
Right.
Well, we don't need to really do that anymore because with Yelp and Google and all that kind of stuff and all these social influencers. Do you know what an influencer is?
Somebody that gets you into great times. That's what happens
Well,
with me.
I guess we have 1 million listeners here at Go Country 105, so I guess we're influencing people, right? We're influencing you to go to BOA Steakhouse.
Are we influencing them?
We're in food. How much time do I got? Because I got to read this. It's a great story.
You got about... How much time do you need?
I need 3 minutes.
Okay, done.
Okay, so as you know, if I've told you guys 1 million times, I was born in Athens, Greece, right? I was born in Greece in the 60s. I'm a child of the 60s, right? And people think about like a feta cheese. Real feta cheese comes from Greece. You know, a real Caesar salad. We'll talk about that. But there are just certain dishes that it has to be Greek for it to be real. Okay. So I found this on this thing that I love it. It's called Bored Panda. It's kind of like The Onion, the newsletter, The Onion, the online Onion. All the stories are false or made up or exaggerated.
Right.
So Bored Panda, I guess some guy is a panda and he's bored all the time and he finds these crazy stories. All right, here we go. I had to put on my glasses for that. You've probably already heard about the influencers who expect businesses to give them free stuff in exchange for exposure. And you've probably already heard about the way managers reject them too. This restaurant in Greece, however, has come up with a counteroffer to such requests that I bet you still don't know about. The idea is simple. The influencer pays for their own meal, but the restaurant, after serving them, donates the food or of equal value to people in need. Win-win to me, right?
Right.
Celebrating the great deed they just did and feel a lot better about getting a free meal and doing something for somebody else. All right. But the problem is that the influencers don't want to do that.
What do they want to do?
No, not a single one has agreed to it. And the restaurant proposes this to dozens of influencers every month. That says something about values, doesn't it? So
It does. It's really weird. It's a weird time in our life.
well, I kind of get it because when I say, like this guy is saying, oh, I have 8,000 Instagram followers, big deal. I mean, Go Country has over 120,000 Instagram followers. So, I don't know. I just thought it was funny. It's just, big deal. You're going to put a photo on Instagram and you're going to save the restaurant.
You never know. You never know.
All right, it's
But-
Peter Dills. I want to give out that phone number again, 626-765-7543. And the reason why I'm giving out the number like 3 times as often as I usually do is we've got a big prize this time, Turtle. No more $25 or $50 worth of hot dogs. I'm talking $100 to BOA Steakhouse right here in West Hollywood. But you have to call us and you have to have the correct answer. It's Peter Dills. It is Go Country 105. Do not touch that dial because when we come back from the break, we're going to be talking to the executive chef. And of course, if you've been to BOA Steakhouse, you know that is Travis Flood. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Check 1, 2.
Oh yeah, very dynamic. Love it.
Super dynamic. Right?
Yeah. You can. It's yeah. Thank you all listening right now and watching us on Facebook. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to share. The show right now as we are about to check out some very delicious treats brought to you by
BOA Steakhouse.
Is that a camera right there?
That is.
You're on Facebook Live
You're
right
on the
now.
camera.
Facebook Live.
Let's see
Did we
who's
change
watching.
Did we get the right angles?
Yeah, actually it's working really well today because it's full on him.
Okay, perfect.
Full on me.
Full on you. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Hello, my IE family.
Well, you live in Claremont. That's not IE, really. That's it's
It's the city of the
borderline.
trees.
Yeah.
City of the trees.
Yeah. Who else? Is it Claremont or Montclair where Steven Spielberg's from, where he lives?
Not sure. I know Ben Harper's from Claremont, which is
Yeah.
one of our claim to fames.
Yeah.
And the inventor of Gumby used
Really?
to live in Claremont. Because my buddy bought a house, and he goes, you know who used to live here? The guy that invented Gumby.
And then Upland, where I kind of live in Upland as well, but known as the Badlands for skateboarding.
Oh.
Okay.
So the original skate park down there, and then in Montclair. So Mickey Alba and some of the
I know
old
those names.
Dogtown crew kind of made the Baldy Pipe really a famous skateboarding attraction way back in the day.
I do know it. I know Tony Alba. I mean, I know the name. So is the chef or the assistant chef coming out? So we
Yeah, they're going to be bringing. They're pretty much, when you say on time, like
Okay.
they're going to be 2:15. They're going to walk right out with it. and-
How long did we go on that break?
We went 11.
Okay, so we can go.
We can go as it, but we just fix
Yeah,
it on the back end.
Yeah, we just fill it in. Okay, let's see. Yeah. So they gave me a whole sheet of stuff that you probably know, but I'm going to rely on you to tell me where you guys buy the beef from. How
Yeah.
to cook. Yeah.
I'll go through all that, and then I think David will touch base on the drinks. Are you going to sit down, David, and talk, or?
If you would like to, I want to make. I think that people love the history of restaurants and how it got started and who started it. I think that's at least for me.
And he knows that much better than I do.
Okay. Okay. Wait a minute. Let me write David's last name so I don't screw this up. David Ficklin. David Ficklin.
I'm going to mute your mic, but I'll unmute it in a second.
Okay, Turtle. Give me a 3, 2, 1 or a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 or whatever you want to do.
3, 2.
Hey, it's Peter Dills. We're back from the break. This is Go Country 105. It's about 15 minutes after the hour, and you never got to meet her, but I want to give a salute to Miss Lori Allen. She retired last week, Turtle.
What?
Yeah, so I am not sure.
That's breaking news. Hold on.
Wait a minute. Okay. Breaking news from the Go Country Peter Dills Food Report. Yeah, Lori Allen, who was our engineer for a year and a half and sidekick and co-host and the queen of country, and did all the 9 o'clock show, the best of American country classics. I read it on Facebook. No one told me, but that's how I did text Lori Allen, and she just said, she had been at Kiss FM and she'd been on all these radio stations, and she just needed a break. And I get it.
Right.
I get it. It's not easy putting all this stuff together. If you need to get a hold of us, hey, if you own a restaurant, you own a hotel, you need some help, like my friend Steve Barnes and his dad, Carl D. Barnes, advertising here on Go Country 105, 626-765-7542. Plus, you can get a hold of me through my website, diningwithdills.com. I mentioned today is National Coffee Ice Cream Day. Let's talk about coffee just a little bit before we get into our talk with Chef. Coffee is only grown near the equator, from the Tropic of Cancer to the Tropic of Capricorn, within 1,000 miles. So that was my question is, well, what about the coffee that is actually grown in Hawaii? Can that be called coffee?
Yeah. Why not?
Is it 1,000 miles from the Tropic
It's
of Cancer?
1,001, but I mean, if you want to get technical.
All right. There is between 80 and 140 milligrams of caffeine in 1 cup of coffee. 1 apple in the morning will give you the same jolt as a full cup of coffee.
It's not the same. Like, have you ever had a hot apple? It just doesn't feel right.
40 billion cups of coffee are consumed worldwide, making it the most popular beverage, right behind Beluga Vodka, of course.
Of course.
And Taittinger Champagne and Sapporo Beer and all those other ones. Those are called shameless plugs out there, by the way. All right, enough of this nonsense. So happy National Coffee Ice Cream Day. And without further ado, Executive Chef Travis Flood is here with us, right here on the table. We are social distancing. We've got a nice little partition here. And welcome to the show. Welcome to Go Country 105.
Howdy. Thanks for having me, Peter.
Did you hear that? He said howdy.
Threw a little howdy in there.
Yeah, throw a little howdy in there. All right, so Travis, tell us about the restaurant. Tell us about how you got involved. As far as the history, we'll talk to David about that kind of stuff. But what's your vision? Why did they bring you in here? Why Travis?
I joined the BOA culinary team at the beginning of the year, so prior to COVID. And it took about a month to get my feet wet and to kind of learn what made BOA special and try to figure out an approach that I would have success in here as the chef and continuing the legacy that BOA has been built upon, and just try to start from the bare bottoms and just kind of look at every dish and go, what makes this dish special, and kind of go up from there throughout the whole entire menu. So not trying to make my mark, but trying to make BOA's mark bigger, better, stronger, and solid.
Well, boom, just like that, ambient sound. That means there's food on the table. And
Yeah.
Okay, Travis, let's go one at a time. And okay,
You know,
what do we got here?
Well, we may have to remove this partition when the steak comes out. I just want to let you know that.
'Cause, well, Turtle and I and you will be all fighting for it.
Whoever has the bigger knife or the bigger fork. But this is our goat cheese baklava. It's been on the menu since day one when BOA was known as Balboa. And it's a layered crust with truffle and honey and more truffle and more honey and pistachios. And it's filled with a truffle goat cheese mousse. It's warmed up and then drizzled with a little bit of honey and some fresh pistachios on top of that. But it's basically taking something that is very common in a Greek cuisine or in any cuisine, and then BOA putting their stamp on it with the truffle and the little salad of grapefruit. It just kind of makes it more unique and innovative.
Because I got to be honest with you, I've been to many steakhouses. I've never seen something like a baklava. I've seen Cherry's Jubilee, I've seen cheesecake, but never a baklava.
Well, this is an appetizer. It's something that a lot of the people like to start off with. It's light, it's crunchy, it's refreshing. It's kind of like a upscale cheese plate in a way too, because it has those sweet and savory notes that you can experience at the very beginning of a meal.
This is almost a cross, because I mentioned before that I know a little bit about baklava and things. But this is almost a cheese biryani. It's like it's a cross between baklava and a cheese biryani.
Yeah, minus the shape.
Okay. And you asked me to tell you every time I take a bite of something to describe the tannins on my tongue of what I'm feeling. Sweet, a little bit sweet from the cheese, not from the necessarily the nutmeg. Is that nutmeg on the outside?
No, it's just the pistachios.
Pistachio. I'm
and-
sorry, pistachio. So yeah, the cheese makes it. I love it. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Not that we're rating things. This is not Dave Portnoy's pizza thing, this. But I like it. I would say, BOA Steak House, definitely order the baklava. I like it.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things to try throughout the week. I try to taste as much stuff as often as I can, just to make sure that the quality is where we want to keep it and it's consistent. I always say the hardest thing in a restaurant is consistency and perception. So
The next on the docket, one of the most simple things to make, but difficult in its presentation if it's done correctly, is the Caesar salad. Invented, Turtle said Rome. I'm going to guess.
course,
I'm gonna
Julius
guess
Caesar.
Julius Caesar. I'm going to guess.
he was an Italian immigrant, so you're halfway there.
And he always had the leaves and stuff around his head, so that's what I
I
figured.
think you spent too much time at Vegas. But the original Caesar was created by Caesar Cardini, his name was. He actually a San Diegan who lived and worked in Mexico to get away from the prohibition laws. I did not just read that. I actually learned that a while ago.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's a Mexican created salad by an Italian immigrant. Here at BOA, we make them fresh for everybody.
Not tableside right now.
Not tableside. This was prior to COVID. We had about 8 or 9 Caesar carts and a bunch of runners that would run around and throw plates in the air and just make a great show and make a phenomenal Caesar. And we still make the Caesar salad fresh dressing all the time throughout the night. It's a mixture of pasteurized egg yolks and anchovies and garlics and different vinegars, and it's crunchy, it's crisp, it's it's got this tang and acid to it.
Where does the tang and acid come from? That was my question for you.
Well, garlic naturally is high in acid, so some of the acid and the spice comes from the garlic. But then there's some Tabasco in there, and then a couple of different vinegars that we've kind of blended together to create our tang and spice throughout the Caesar salad.
Good morning, everybody. It's Peter Dills. It's Go Country 105. We're with Travis Flood. He is the executive chef here at the BOA Steak House on Sunset Boulevard in West Hollywood. I want to give a shout out to my friend Chris McCarty. It is Labor Day weekend, and Longo Lexus in El Monte, that's what I drive, a Longo Lexus Labor Day specials. Head on over to Longo Lexus. My friend Steve just got his truck over there from the nice people off the 10 freeway. So it's Labor Day weekend, and those car salesmen are selling some cars.
And if you're in the mood for a car, guess what? Longo Lexus has you.
That's it. Longo Lexus, proud sponsor for years and years and years of the Peter Dill Show at Go Country 105. Travis Flood, we just had the Caesar salad. We have the baklava. Tell us about you. Tell us about Travis. Okay, you're thinking about it. I'll help you out. I'll meet you halfway. When I put on Facebook that Travis Flood was going to be my guest for Sunday morning show, a lot of people from out in Claremont and like, oh, Glendora, oh, great guy, oh, great chef, oh, great. So you must got a loyal audience.
You know, I was born and raised in Southern California, lived in San Diego, lived in the Inland Empire, parts of Los Angeles, San Francisco, Chicago, New York, and traveled around as a young cook and chef, and ended up coming back home, which I find kind of rare because you don't meet a lot of chefs in California that are necessarily from California. So for me to be able to come back home and cook in my neighborhood, like I was in Claremont and Laverne, was really unique and fun. I have a love of fire, I have a love of food and steaks, and this is not my first steakhouse job as executive chef, so I've always been drawn to the steakhouse environment. And when the opportunity through a friend introduced me to the IDG team, and the rest was history. And I'm super stoked to be here and to help make my mark on an awesome restaurant.
All right, we're 2 for 2. Our next dish here is turtle. At first glance, it feels like warm guacamole.
I thought that was guacamole.
No, my friend, this is smashed broccoli.
No way.
Yeah, I bet you've never had smashed broccoli.
I've never had broccoli, so we'll see.
You stop. Okay, tell us about the smashed broccoli.
Smashed broccoli, we inherited from a previous restaurant that was owned by the IDG group. Super popular on their menu. It's local broccoli that has been blanched and then smashed with roasted garlic and chilies and extra virgin olive oil. It's a great accompaniment to a steak or a piece of fish, or on their menu. It's kind of garlicky. It's got a little bit of heat from the chili in it, and it's kind of rich from the olive oil. And it's a healthy version too.
I can do this too.
And that's carb free. It's gluten free. It's healthy, and that's why it's one of our most popular items on the sides menus, because it's so versatile.
I'm gonna make Turtle eat some, because he's looking at it like, no, I don't think so.
I take it you don't feed him too many vegetables.
No, well, he's a turtle. Nothing but vegetables. You use the word blanched. Explain to my listeners what that means. I'm thinking about like In-N-Out French fries. They blanch the potatoes. But for those of you who don't know what the chef just explained, what is blanching?
By the way, wow. Wow, that's really good.
Thank you. So blanching is one of the most popular cooking techniques. I've always said a good chef will know how to cook anything based on how solid their cooking techniques are when cooking. So blanching is basically bringing water to boil. There's some different thoughts. You put a lot of water, you put a little bit of water, but a good amount of water and salted. I fight with a lot of family members on this, on how salty the water should be when blanching, but it should be like ocean water. People think that's a lot of salt, but in reality, you're not pulling all that salt out of the water. But when you blanch things like spinach and broccoli and Brussels sprouts, things that are high in chlorophyll, they tend to stay greener and brighter and fresher longer due to the salt. So
It's Peter Dills. I'm super excited. We're at we're at the BOA Steak House. Hey, peace to you too, Turtle. We're at the BOA Steak House here in West Hollywood, 9200 Sunset Boulevard. It is Sunday morning in a little bit. David is the director of operations, David Ficklin. He and I have crossed paths before too, somewhere, and he's going to be giving us some information on time and website and all this stuff. Okay, Travis, I don't want any of your bosses to hear this. I'm going to ask you a question. It's just a question, a human interest question that I just want to know for my own self-education.
Okay. Shoot.
At home, do you have a charcoal grill or a gas grill?
I am proud, or I hate to say this, but I'm not really fond of my grilling situation at home right now.
Okay.
I own one grill that costs me a lot of money that I plug in that I'm not too happy with. And I did buy a little grill from Home Depot, like a camping grill that I
Yeah.
kind of use right now.
Yeah.
But I don't grill a lot at home.
I do. Okay, I do.
I love grilling and I love fire. And when I go camping, I love just cooking big chunks of steak on open fire. That's what I like cooking on. And usually it's where I live, I can't just have a 6-foot Santa Maria grill, because if I would, I would have a Santa Maria grill.
It's
red
Peter
oak
Dills,
and
it's Travis Flood. Hey, when we come back from the break, is it too early for you to just sip? We're going to have a Beluga Vodka Martini or a mixed drink because they were kind enough to make all this happen. So it's not too early for me. It's not too early for Turtle. It's Peter Dills. It's Go Country 105. Happy Sunday morning, everybody. So, David, you can get the drink now. Okay. And then, you get the then it's fancy schmancy drink. Okay. Fancy schmancy drink. Some straws, if you want to do it that way, or however you want. That sounds like a good idea. And then you can sit down. Sure. We got a fancy drink there. We have a fancy drink. Look at that.
I'm gonna do something for the those listening, since we're into this just in, we have a reported fancy schmancy drink.
This is not going to go on the radio.
No, that's just for everyone
For
watching.
Facebook.
Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Breaking news.
you're going to get hungry, or you better be hungry.
I told her I didn't stop by Starbucks, and all I had was a protein shake, so I am hungry. All right, I can't remember. I bartended before. I'm just going to take a drink.
Just take a drink.
However you want to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, David, go ahead and sit down.
And let me get a mic check with you, David. Okay.
Check 1 2. Hey, how's it going? What'd I have for lunch?
Yeah.
What'd you have for lunch? Broccoli.
Broccoli.
Yeah. And the broccoli.
The
That
green
was
stuff?
amazing. Yeah.
That green
Yeah.
hot warm guacamole.
Smashed
that you put in?
broccoli.
Dude, actually, have you guys thought about making like some sort of tortilla chip, but like not tortilla, like a spinach chip or something, and that you could do with that? That would probably be
Sir, this
amazing.
is the BOA Steak House in West Hollywood. This is not.
I just sounds
It's
good.
not West
I don't
Covina.
know. Or like a lettuce like dunker thing. I don't know. It's-
I could see that for Cinco de Mayo.
yeah.
I'm going to say you're Ficklin. Is that
Ficklin, correct.
Okay. All right.
Okay, we ready?
Yep.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna put you guys on mute real quick. And go.
It's Peter Dills. We're back from the break. We're halfway home up until 9 o'clock. I wish I could say Lori Allen is going to be here at 9, but I'm sure they'll have somebody playing country's greatest hits right here on Go Country 105. Hey, the party just got bigger. We went from just Travis and I. Now we've got David Ficklin. He's the director of operations here at the BOA Steak House here on Sunset in West Hollywood, and he's going to give us a little bit of history on who, what, and why for BOA Steak House. But before we do that, we've got our fourth dish, and it is the mac and cheese. So, Chef, explain your thought process when you created this mac and cheese.
I feel that a steakhouse has to have mac and cheese, and you can make your mark on how good you are by the mac and cheese. Our mac and cheese is a mixture of a couple different components. One of the components is Boursin cheese. It's a mixture of cream cheese and fresh herbs, as well as provolone and reduced cream, and topped with our house-made Ritz breadcrumbs.
If I told you that it tastes a little lighter than I'm used to? Maybe because I'm used to the Kraft macaroni and cheese, but to me that's light. I'm sure it's not light in calories, but it's light.
Well, it's not a heavy reduction to cream and a mixture of a ton of different cheeses, because when you are eating it with a really rich steak, you don't want the mac and cheese to take over the steak. You want to keep
good
the
thinking.
flavors balanced.
All right, David Finklin is here. He's the director of operations and bartender, I guess, bartender extraordinaire here at Sunday Morning. And you made me a Beluga vodka it's a fancy drink.
It's a super fancy drink.
It's a fancy drink. Tell me what it is.
So this is one of our signature cocktails. This is the BOA 405. As you mentioned, it's with Beluga vodka, a little fresh strawberry, fresh lime, a little bit of simple syrup, and it's actually garnished with a little balsamic vinegar. So that gives it a little bit of an acid bite at the end and a touch of sweetness too.
Can I have 3 more?
I got my bartending hat on, so the sky's the limit today.
I got one too.
Not a problem.
All right, David Finklin is here, joined us, and we're I know the final part is we're going to be talking about steaks, but for right now, David, tell us about BOA. You mentioned something about Balboa. BOA came from Balboa. I'm thinking Newport Beach, but I'm probably wrong.
So it is a little different than that. So BOA Steak House is part of Innovative Dining. We have a number of brands throughout our company: Sushiroku, Katana, and BOA Steak House. And the original BOA Steak House was actually called Balboa, and it was at the Grafton Hotel here in West Hollywood on Sunset Boulevard. It was about 65 seats. We were there for a number of years, but when the time came and we had been very successful, we chose to expand our footprint. We moved down the street to our current location here on the end of Sunset. So it's been a good run. We've been around about 19 years. And originally it was just the vision of the partners. They always loved steakhouses and loved going to eat dinner at steakhouses, but they were always very, if you think back, they were always very institutional restaurants with tablecloths and starchy
Velvet
service,
Turtle and
all of
yeah.
them. And
Nothing wrong with Velvet Turtle.
Oh, that's right.
Saying.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
So they wanted to reimagine the steakhouse, and so we gave it a little bit more updated look, a little bit more design driven, and hospitality first, and always wanted to include a premium meat program and a very well thought out menu and a great wine list and cocktail program, but really create an environment that attracted sort of the next generation of steak goers.
Where do you get your beef from?
Premier Meat, and they are our purveyor, but all of our steaks are sourced from Creekstone Farms, and so we have a fantastic relationship with them, and I think we like to refer to them as the Bentley of cows. So they do a tremendous job with their program and provide us with some incredible steaks.
Travis, back to you. What is, if I remember my history correctly, what is the difference between corn-fed and grass-fed?
Well, it's going to change a lot in the texture and the final taste of the beef. So beef is not naturally fed corn. Corn is added into the diet towards the end or towards the certain ages of the cow and the cattle, to where it helps enrich it with a higher fat diet, which helps put on weight and helps bring more marbled into the meat, more marbling into the steak. So corn has its benefits. Other countries use other ingredients. We work with an Australian beef company called Westholme, and they use sorghum to finish their cattle on. And it's not sweet like sugar, but it just brings like a savory, like meat sweetness to the meat that is really just kind of rounds out the flavor.
Now, which one here? What do I have here?
So there you're eating a 40-day dry aged center cut New York strip. 40 days in the dry age room, where the meat goes through a drastic change in texture and flavor. It picks up a lot of umami through hanging in the dry age room. But 40 days, it's grilled and marked on a broiler, and then finished in a high temperature grill, to where it just caramelizes on the outside. One thing we get a lot of, and you can see it here on the Wagyu, because it's a little bit richer, is the cooking techniques that we apply bring a nice crispy crust to the outside of the steak, which I think is one of the hallmark bites that you experience here at BOA.
You know, I've always wondered about dry aged because I know what it is, I know the process, but what does the steak actually begin with at 40 days? What is the weight of the steak, and how much water does it lose after 40 days?
It could lose anywhere up to 5 to 20% in its overall weight. So, all steak, when it is brought off a pasture and then is broken down, needs a minimum of at least 30 days. What we call wet aging, to where it's basically the process of rigor mortis and kind of breaking down the texture or the tough tissues and the muscle fibers in the meat to make it more tender.
It's Peter Dills, Go Country 105. We're talking about steaks, nothing but steaks here at BOA Steak House in the city of West Hollywood. Now I'm gonna. What should I be experiencing? What I'm
Love.
ready. Love. I'm ready.
Well, you know how
I'm
you
ready.
you
I
were
already
talking
emphasized.
about the Bentleys and the
Yeah.
Lexuses and all
Ooh,
that.
oh.
What you have here is the Bentley and the Ferraris
Oh my God.
of beef. This is our Japanese flight. It's a tasting of 3 different prefectures that we offer. Right now, you are eating Iwate. Iwate is a prefecture that's in the north of Japan on the main island. On the right side of that one, you have Hokkaido snow beef, which is from Chateau Untanui, which is a very rare prefecture. Not many restaurants in the U.S. have it.
Wow.
I can name about 5 of them on my hand that I know for sure have it, and we're one of them. And then the final one is one of my favorites. It's called Kagoshima. It's from more of the central part of Japan, so really good fresh waters that come from the valleys and the grasses and the minerals just make a surprisingly just delicious piece of meat.
These
Okay.
are so delicious. Like, oh my God. It's like there's a party in my mouth and no one's invited. It's very exclusive.
So, Chef, let me know, is there a different way that you season these steaks? Would the 40-day New York steak be seasoned differently than the Wagyu cuts?
So our Wagyu cuts, and as with most of our steaks, is simply sea salt and fresh cracked black pepper.
So both of them are seasoned the same?
Yep. We do on some of our signature cuts, like our center cut filet, that's 12 ounces, or our petite filet, which is 8 ounces. In our New York, in our tomahawk, we do marinate them in a like a potent herb oil. That's a mixture of just different herbs and canola oil, and we allow them to marinate in that for a minute. But yeah, surprisingly, it's just salt and pepper. When people ask me like what I like to marinate my steaks with,
Right.
it's always just salt and pepper and good meat. Like that's what you start off with, and that's what BOA has built their success off of, is just high quality meat prepared right and served at the right time of.
Well, David, we're all hungry, and everybody that's listening is probably just going to beat down the doors at least this week, tomorrow being Labor Day. I think we better give out the hours. What special hours do we have going here at BOA?
So right now we are doing dinner only. We are open Sunday through Thursday, starting at 5 p.m. until 10, and then Friday and Saturday we open at 5, but we stay up until 11. And I would suggest, highly recommend making reservations. We do fill up quickly in advance every night, and we're fortunate enough to have a large outdoor space.
Right, and
So
that's where
we're-
we are right now, social distancing. If you're watching on Facebook right now, you can see there's a partition, and everybody has their masks on except for the guy that's talking and eating crab legs.
And that's something we've found has been very important. We've really hung our hat on hospitality over the years, but we've had to add an additional layer of safety protocol to allow not only our employees but our guests to feel safe and comfortable while they're dining with us. And we've really seen the results of that. People come back over and over again just saying how safe they feel comfortable eating out here, and that goes to speaks volumes to our protocol, and like you said, the social distancing aspect, the plexiglass barriers that we use between our booths, and
And it looks nice too. I was walking around the outside, and when you guys made this, was dining out always the first thought? Because you guys are really lucky that you have all this space for that.
So since day one, we've always had we had a fortunate ability to have a large outdoor space right from the beginning, and given current world of COVID, outdoor dining's been in a more significant part of every restaurant's operation. So we've been very fortunate. 2/3 of our restaurants outside to begin with. So we actually, have conformed to all the protocol and reduced our seating and reduced our footprint and spaced our tables and created barriers. But it's all been done with a sense of the overall aesthetics of our original patio. So we really haven't lost much, like you said, visually. It still looks like the same space.
Now, you had mentioned IDG. What other restaurants do you guys own?
IDG is Innovative Dining, and our other restaurants in the company are Katana, which is a Japanese robata and sushi bar right here on Sunset in Hollywood. We also have Sushi Roku as another Japanese concept, and there's one in Newport Beach, Santa Monica, Pasadena, one in Las Vegas, and one in Scottsdale.
Well, Peter's taking a drink
No,
of water.
no. Next very important question. So we're getting used to it. We're going out to eat, but there's still a lot of people that don't want to go out to eat. Some people want to stay home for a couple more months. Is there a way that they can get a hold of you guys to get some of this great food either delivered, or maybe I can pick it up or send the Uber Eats or a taxi?
You actually touched on every single one
Okay,
of
good.
our available outlets. So
Or me.
yeah,
or we'll all do it.
hand delivery if need be. You can find us at boasteak.com. We do have the ability to take orders through our website or all the additional platforms that you mentioned, Uber Eats, DoorDash, Postmates, all of those. We participate with all the pickup and delivery platforms. We've also had to craft a new way of doing takeout as well, and we offer curbside pickup, a white glove curbside pickup, where you can place your order ahead of time. We bring your food directly to your car. There's contactless payment. We've spent a lot of time really making the access to BOA as easy as possible and as convenient as possible, but also as safe as possible.
Okay, he's giving me we got to have the dessert before we go to break.
Well, you know what? I can do that.
But we have to give away that $100 gift card. Which do we do?
The next break.
All right, let's bring on the coup de grace. It looks, I can't see. It looks like grapes and a cheesecake.
So there was a point in time when you were silent, Peter, and I want to say
Oh.
to the people listening that he was eating some Cajun crab legs.
Yeah.
It's all right, Peter. I got your back. You got to retire someday. But yeah, the Cajun crab legs, big hit here at BOA Steak House is our crab legs. You get them prepared in a variety of different ways. The Cajun style is one of my favorite. It's just a little more spicier and has some unique notes to it. But right now, you're digging into our famous light and airy and fluffy mascarpone cheesecake with some grapes and white chocolate crumble and caramel ice cream, or honeycomb ice cream, I'm sorry. So that's, I'm not going to lie, during COVID, I had to make a bunch of cheesecakes, and it was a reason why I put on a couple extra pounds, was because of the...
Did you put on
You can
19?
meet Travis. You live in Claremont. You can meet me at the Rose Bowl every morning. I do one lap, 3 miles. Are you in? No, you're not in.
I watch him.
I ride my bike around there a lot. It's more my speed, but I got to social distance. I got to keep my job.
There you go. Hey, listen, we're running up on almost 9 o'clock. We got about 12 more minutes to go. I promised you guys that we'd give away a $100 gift card to the BOA Steak House here on West Hollywood, and it is a trivia question, and it has something to do with ice cream. So don't touch that dial. I want you and you and you to have the opportunity to win this $100 gift card. Hey guys, thank you. Travis, David, Turtle, thank you. Oh, Turtle's still here. Okay, it's Peter Dills. It's Go Country 105.
Thank you.
Easy peasy. Great job. So we just got to wrap up the show, give away the gift card.
It's 15.
Okay, so how much time do we have left now?
What's the question? I'm just want
The question is, Ben & Jerry's has literal graveyard for their discontinued flavors, and here are 20 of them. I'm not going to do 20 of them. I'll do 5 of ones that are no longer available. But I made one up, meaning that it was never a Ben & Jerry's ice cream. So like there was the
have them in. I mean,
white red. Yeah, they can guess.
Yeah.
Fresh Georgia peach. The one I'm going to say is Kenny and Dolly's cobbler ice cream. There was never a Kenny and Dolly, because that's Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton. It's a country station.
Oh.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, keep me in for the last segment.
Yeah, you guys can hang out and take a guess.
Y'all believe it or not,
Let's see. I do.
Yeah, this cheesecake is amazing.
Yeah, I would take, because it has trimmings that come off of it because we cut this perfect spaces. So when you have a half a slice of cheesecake every day for a while with some carrot cake crumbs.
Oh, I love carrot cake, king crab legs, and that wagyu. That would be if somebody said to me, Peter, you're going to be on you have one last meal. I'd say that the BOA Steak House wagyu, a carrot cake from wherever, and king crab legs.
I almost brought out our carrot cake, but I figured I'd give you the
That was delicious.
cheesecake.
That's definitely me driving in and doing that pickup. That's cool. I'd do curbside. Oh, that was amazing.
Cocktail was great.
The whole in that glass.
So yeah, I'm a big fan of open fire cooking, and typically like the grills I've had that I had at my last restaurant, we do a lot of mobile cooking, a lot of beer festivals, but 6-foot Santa Maria grills from NorCal Oven Works, awesome.
Where were you at before here?
I was working with Ray Garcia from Broken Spanish for a while.
Okay.
He was going to open a new restaurant, but that got canceled. I did some work for La Mille for a couple months on redoing their menu. And then prior to that was Alexander's for a little over a year.
Okay, what was the manager's name there? I was trying to tell Dave.
Alex?
Yeah, Alex. He went over to True Kitchen.
Yeah, actually I talked to Alex this morning.
Yeah, you should. Well,
randomly.
you didn't know. Yeah, I like Alex.
But yeah, Alex is a good guy. We talk a lot. He's a big hunter. So
Oh, I
we
did-
talk about
I-
hunting and
I-
camping and.
I did not know that.
So.
Alex Alilio. Or,
Yeah, Alejo.
Alilio.
But the grill at Alexander's, I love that grill. I mean, I worked that grill every night for over a year, and it was just the flavor and parts on the meat, and we were using a mixture of binchotan and red oak.
And you were there for 1 year.
A little over a year.
Okay. All right, you ready, Turtle?
I'm ready.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
You want to sit in? Are you sure?
No, you guys are good.
All right.
How much time do we got?
12 and a half minutes.
All right.
Do you have your phone? You can just put a timer on it. That way you can...
Next time. Gotcha. Next time.
Are you ready?
All right.
3, 2.
Hey, it's Peter Dills. We're back from the break. It's just solo Turtle and I just want to thank everybody at the BOA Steak House this morning for feeding us so, as Ted and Bill would say, so righteously. So righteously.
So excellent.
So excellent here at the BOA Steak House in Pasadena. No, West Hollywood.
It's because you're a Pasadena homer.
Yeah,
You
so we got
love
El
Pasadena.
Cholo Cafe coming up in a couple weeks, and we're going to bring our good friends, our band, Country Honey, in, and we're going to make it a party.
All
So
right,
put
can't
that on
wait.
your calendar, September 16th. All right, without further ado, we've got to do this trivia question. We are going to do this trivia question. I'm going to give you, that must be a Lamborghini, Ferrari?
It looked like a Ferrari.
Okay, I'm going to give you 6 ice creams
Mm.
from Ben & Jerry's. Get ready, from Ben & Jerry's. All 6 of these ice creams are no longer in production, Turtle. So you've got to call us right now at 626-765-7542 and let us know which one of these was never an ice cream from Ben & Jerry's.
Mm.
You like that?
I do.
All right.
People like that too.
All right. This particular ice cream from Ben & Jerry's was available from 1986 to 1991.
Ben & Jerry's has been around that long?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they got gray hair now, gray and beards. Okay, the first ice cream is Dolly and Ken's Cobbler. Dolly and Ken's Cobbler.
Cobbler.
1986 to
That'd be
1991.
like an apple something.
Fossil Fuel. Ben & Jerry's Fossil Fuel from 2005 to 2010.
Fossil
Anybody
Fuel.
remember Fossil Fuel, Ben & Jerry's ice cream?
I'm trying to. What would that taste like?
It was fungi dinosaurs galore, they say.
Mm.
How about the Cool Britannica, like the
encyclopedia?
Encyclopedia.
Wait, why would they make
That one only lasted 1 year, 1989 to 1900.
Because then they have to change it, like every encyclopedia, the next year's edition.
I described the Cool Britannia as a flavor of so smashing strawberry shortbread, and the that's all it is, strawberry and shortbread, and it only lasted 1 year. Let's see, Holy Cannoli, 1997 to 2001. That's Holy Cannoli. That's 4 years. And then I'm going to throw in another one, Tennessee Mud. Tennessee Mud. Does anybody remember Tennessee Mud?
I think I do.
It was made with mud and Jack Daniels.
Wait a minute, that has to be the not one, because you would have to be 21 and over.
Coffee ice cream with amaretto, Jack Daniels Tennessee whiskey, roasted slivered almonds with Jack Daniels.
You would have to be 21 and older to get that.
All right, you guys, let's call us right now. 626-765.
I think that's a fake one.
7542. 765-7542. You want me to give you the list one more time?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I think I figured it out, and
right.
I'm gonna win that $100.
All right. Dolly and Ken's Cobbler. That's like, Dolly Parton. And
Yeah, and Kenny Rogers the
Kenny
Gambler.
Rogers, the gambler. Tennessee Mud. Holy Cannoli. Cool Britannica.
That one might not be.
Yeah.
I know it's between the Britannica and the
Fossil Fuel.
that one too. These are
And-
good.
Yeah. Okay. And
These are
then,
good.
yeah. All right. So that's the way we did it today. Give us a call, 765-626-765-7542. And if you are correct, you will get $100 to the BOA Steak House right here in West Hollywood. Now, you're responsible for getting here, parking your car, valeting, and of course tipping.
Unless
But
you do
I've
the
got-
curbside.
And
I mean, I'm sure
you could do the curbside.
that white glove curbside sounded so fantastic
Convenient.
and
So
romantic
convenient.
too. I could see a guy just coming out with a white glove and me in my beat up car. Like, no, it's cool. I swear I'm this person. Here's my receipt.
Do you remember last week's trivia question? Because I don't.
I don't even remember last week.
No, I
Peter.
don't. I don't even know what day it is. Oh, it's Sunday morning because we got it. We had to wake up bright and early
Yeah.
to get over here.
And
to
thank
Go
you to the
Country.
staff for letting us in as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Very
Well,
cool.
I just remember the one we did with Pink's Hot Dogs. That was 3 Dog Night. Elvis Presley had Hot Dog Lovin' You. Led Zeppelin had In Through the Outdoor, which mentioned hot dogs. And They Might Be Giants had mentioned hot dogs in their song. But 3 Dog Night never mentioned the word hot dog in any of their songs. So I know that was the trivia question when we did Pink's Hot Dogs. By the way, Turtle,
Yes, sir.
if you are not somebody that likes to wake up bright and early, or you can't wake up bright and early, I've got a solution for you. I got many solutions for you.
Wake up later.
Well,
Is that-
9 o'clock. At 9 o'clock, we automatically play this show that we just did from 8 to 9. It automatically retracts on Spotify, iTunes, and podcast.
Yeah.
And then
All the platforms.
all the platforms, you should never have to miss any portion of the show. And then the video part of this, so you'll get to see what Travis looks like and David looks like.
The
and
food looks like.
what
most
the
importantly.
food looks like. Well, we should have had her.
I know.
Anyway, but anyway, that's for another show. But it's all on YouTube as well. So if you're a foodie and you want to see great food and you want to see what we had to eat this morning here at BOA Steakhouse, you can also check it out on YouTube.
Highly recommend it.
Highly recommended. Yeah. All right. It's Peter Dills. It is Go Country 105. We've got a few more minutes left. I do want to thank our friends at Beluga Vodka for coming up with some great recipes and for making this show happen this morning. And I'm
That
very
martini
thankful.
was delicious.
And we shared that because
Well, you sipped. I
oh yeah
devoured.
Yeah, what happened to it?
I drank.
It's
good.
gone. It's gone. It's Peter Dills. It's Go Country. It's Turtle. And if you enjoyed the show, tell a friend. We've got some stuff that we're going to lined up for the next couple weeks. We're going to be. I know one thing is for sure. We're going to be at El Cholo Cafe for sure on September 16th. And I've got some other things that are kind of flapping in the wings. All right. But another good reason why to follow us on Facebook and all the social platforms that you decide. All right, now, before we leave you, it is time for Turtle's favorite part of the show. Would I be correct?
I mean,
Well, because you wrote
I
it.
wrote it. That's
Yeah.
why. And this is a very specialer one.
A specialer?
Yeah.
What
yeah.
kind of word is specialer?
It's a brand new word. It's
Would I find that word in the Encyclopedia Britannica?
it would be in 1995.
Right,
And then they
1995.
then they discontinued it after 1995.
Do you think that might be the answer to the trivia question, Turtle?
I'm telling you, it's either Britannica, because who would name something after a encyclopedia? That doesn't sound. I don't know. That sounds fishy. That one and the Jack Daniels one too.
Why do you say that?
Again, it has all these liquors in it, so it's like no kid could taste that.
Okay, are you guys ready? Everybody ready out there in Radio Land? It is now time for Believe It or Not. That was a little loud.
That was a little too loud.
That
Okay.
was a little loud.
Gotcha.
Okay. Believe it or not, George Clooney is one of the closest living relatives to Abraham Lincoln. Believe it or not. I'm going to skip this one. I don't even understand. All right, I'll give it a shot. Is this a joke? Okay.
Well,
Believe it or not, the University of MIT recently conducted an experiment in which the AIs on dating sites, they unwittingly would match with each other. The research indicates that people are more prone to connecting with someone who shares the same interests. Duh. You needed a computer to come up with a pickup line? Do you want to go out for a bite to eat? Is your name Google? Because you have everything I've been searching for. He's laughing. I guess computers have a type.
Hold on.
All right, let's continue on.
You don't think that was brilliant?
I'm not
joke
laughing. No
writing
one's
at its
laughing.
fun?
I don't see one.
That was well. They're all masks.
Three guys are going to hang themselves over here.
I thought that was brilliant
All
joke
right.
writing at its fun.
Believe it or not, U.S. nonprofits and cities are officially participating in a global program that aims to plant 1 trillion trees worldwide. Well, U.S. nonprofits and cities, so U.S., they want to plant trees in other countries.
Yeah,
I'm going to
everywhere.
put a little X by that one, my friend.
Okay.
Yeah. Do we have any more?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Believe it or not, Viagra, when dissolved, can help stems stay erect and double their lifespan. So if the plant stays erect for longer than 4 hours, will you have to see a botanist? I'm gonna put a little check by that one. All right, here's our last one. Thank goodness.
Okay.
Believe it or not, there's a freshwater lake on a golf course in Australia where bull sharks, the sharks come to the lake due to the flood and aren't able to leave back to the ocean until it gets flooded again.
Yeah.
They have since bred in the lake. Now that's a water hazard.
Were these not? Were these not? Okay. So what do you think?
I gotta. What do I think? I think.
And I'm going to ask to anybody else. What do you think is the fake story in there? Which one do you not believe?
I'm going to say a bunch of U.S. nonprofits and cities are officially participating in a global program that aims to plant 1 trillion trees worldwide, because they'd have to get permission to get the trees planted worldwide. You got a thought, Travis?
Travis?
Why do I gotta get brought into this?
You're right there. We need more.
We can hear you.
Yeah.
So there's the trees.
Viagra, sharks,
Oh.
dating site, MIT.
The Viagra one.
The Viagra.
Michelle?
I have to go with the trees.
Okay, trees, Steve?
I think I'll go with the trees too.
All right, we got 3. David didn't hear it. So,
No.
okay. So we got 3 trees. And what is the...
one of the another floral one, the one about the stems and the Viagra.
Oh, okay. So we got
Okay.
3 and 1.
Are we ready?
I'm ready. Please,
Drum roll.
we're ready. That's the longest drum roll
I know.
since...
I kind of figured that out.
yeah.
Well, I have to say, let's go with the tree one.
Oh.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh.
That's true. The one about the stems
Yeah.
and the Viagra.
Yeah.
That's true.
Okay, the sharks. It has to be the sharks.
No, could
MIT. You know, I should have thought of MIT dating site because it was too funny. You made up the whole thing. All
I
right.
made up that entire thing.
Tricked again. Do I get a $100 gift card to BOA Steak House here in West Hollywood?
You do, but I misplaced it in my pocket, so
Ah.
we're just gonna have to.
All right, you guys. Let's wrap up the show. All right. All right, here we go. Remember, if you missed any part of the show, you can stream us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Spotify. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube to watch the replay. All the links are at diningwithdills.com. Thanks, everyone who helped put this show together. Now it's time for my food for thought. Patience is when you're supposed to be mad, but you choose to understand. That's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good thought for the day. That's going to wrap up another show. Thank you to everybody here at BOA Steak House in West Hollywood. And until next time, it's Peter Dills, and I'll see you at my dining table.
Dining with Dills. You're dining with Dills. Dining with Dills. You're gonna get your delicious fill.